Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. We are here today to talk about something very silly, but not unfun. And to help me out with this, I'm gonna bring a chicken on board, all right? That's what you're seeing right now on the screen is Chicken a la King. This is a card from the original Unglued set. 2 blue and a colorless gets you a 2/2 chicken lord. Honestly, I mean, he could be redone as a noble now that they've reintroduced the noble creature type. Anyways, what does he do? Whenever a 6 is rolled on a 6-sided die, put a +1/+1 counter on each chicken in play. Tap a chicken you control, roll a 6-sided die. And the flavor text says, during the chicken revolution, the king managed to keep his head while the others, well, just ran around. Now, you got to be asking yourself, what does this have to do with anything? What is this Unsanctioned that I am hearing about? Well, Unsanctioned is a brand new box set for unlovers like me to get absolutely excited about. If you are new to Magic, especially within the last number of months, you may not actually even know what unsets are, but maybe you've encountered a silver bordered card somewhere where you're like, this looks like a Magic card, but it's also really weird and silly. That's the beauty of the unsets, my friends. Now, admittedly, the newest unset, Unstable, not as silly, not as much fun as the previous 2 unsets, but that's part of what makes this product announcement super exciting. So this is another in the online. If you are somebody who is a mega competitive individual, you don't care about cards that aren't usable in sanctioned play. I mean, it kind of goes with the name Unsanctioned, right? I actually like that. I think that's a pretty clever name for the product because it certainly is unsanctioned. Now, before you get too excited, understand this is not a full unreleased. This is a weird special box set that's similar, actually, kind of, to the Game Nights box set, where you actually get 5 different decks, sort of. So here's the deal. There will be a 30-card deck for each color in this box set. So one for red, white, green, black, and blue. The concept behind it is each player, this is obviously really just going to be for 2 players at any given time, unless you each have your own box set, in which case you can get more people involved and might add to the fun. But either way, the idea behind it is 2 people can each select 2 colors. So I could pick red, green, red, blue, doesn't matter. You pick those 2 colors and you shuffle the 30 cards from each of those decks together to create your 60-card, technically legal-sized Magic deck, but who cares because you're not really playing an unsanctioned play. So at the end of the day, if both of you want to shove all the cards together, you want to do 3 decks, like you're the one who's going to have control over this. But either way, there are going to be 5 30-card decks. Each one of them is color aligned. Now, the majority of the cards in these decks are going to be pulled from older unsets. They're supposed to be fan favorites. That's part of the reason I have Chicken a la King on the screen here for this video, is because I think that he's a pretty good candidate to be one of these reprints. Bear in mind, this is just my guess, and I will lead you into the information as well that makes me think this will be one of the cards that are included. So we've got a situation where most of the cards in this are going to be reprinted from unsets we've already gotten. However, there will be brand new uncards coming with this as well that you can only get in this box set. They have created 16 unique uncards for this box set, 3 cards per deck, plus technically 3 unique cards for each color, and then every deck actually gets 1 copy of the 16th card. So they did 15, and 15 are 3 for red, 3 for white, 3 for green, like that. And then the 16th card is every deck gets 1. So when you put your decks together, you'll actually get 2 copies of this particular card in each 60-card build. So the breakdown of the contents of the box are 5 30-card decks, 10 double-sided tokens, 10 full art basic lands, 5 regular, 5 premium. So yes, and by premium I do mean foil, we are dealing with a scenario where they are bringing us new unlands and they're giving you 5 regular and 5 foil per box set. and we know that slid in there as the whole. Maybe we can get them to buy these for the lands, right? They know that the lands really help them sell unsets. So I guess they wanted to revisit the Unwell and tap into that land capital without giving us a full release product. Now, will these unlands be worth the same as other unlands? My guess is no, because the other unlands value is based on, I mean, however, obviously each one comes from a booster pack, but there's foil ones that you could only get randomly. They were originally supposed to have a foil land in each box of Unstable, but due to coalition errors, they ended up where you could get a box where you could get a ton of the foil lands and other boxes where you could get none, and that greatly influenced the price. But when you can have a set price to buy a box set and get regular and foil in each one, that's going to control the market of those lands to a degree. Now, I said there's a reason that I think Chicken a la King is going to be included, and that's because this box set actually also comes with 2 6-sided dice. And if you remember the old days of like the beginning, you know, when you were playing with like Unglued before even Unhinged came along, there was a bunch of dice rolling in that. There's actually, I believe, dice rolling in every single unset. So the Chicken a la King may be wishful thinking. I'm just going off the fact that they said, we're bringing back fan favorites. I remember Chicken a la King was a massive fan favorite, at least where I hung out, man, when we were playing with the uncards back in the day. Either way, for me, this is an exciting announcement. I think uncards are a lot of fun. I actually really like this concept too, where you get 5 30-card decks, you mash them together with a color combination of your choice, and you will get different builds. And I imagine, I could be wrong, but I imagine that each color complements the other in particular ways, where, all right, if you're playing with this, like if, let's say, for example, you got a blue deck and you had Chicken a la King, well, anything in the other decks that involved ice rolling, that involved dice rolling, actually ice rolling could totally be an kind of concept, right? Because they do have physical gags with the cards as well. You got to roll an ice and give a +1/+1 counter to all frost creatures. Any creatures that are dripped on by the ice are destroyed. Or you got to use ice counters. You actually put ice cubes onto your magic cards. Either way, I personally find the unsets to be a very enjoyable time. I was super excited for Unstable. Admittedly, it was the least exciting of the unsets, and I think truthfully, underneath it all, part of it is because Wizards of the Coast has lost their sense of humor, mostly, and that makes sense in the current political climate and the way that they're leaning. And when you make jokes, you risk offending people, so now they make only like the most bland style of jokes, and some of the uncards that they printed back in the day in the original onset, they would never dream of doing now. Just like some of the old advertising that they used, they would never use. You can find examples of flavor text they would never use. There's all this stuff that's changed as Magic has become less of an adult-oriented game and just kind of more blanket mass appeal. And when you try and create something with blanket mass appeal, it tends to be created in a more bland fashion so as to appeal to more people. So I do feel like we have lost some of the beauty of the unsets over time, and I do look forward to seeing some of these cards return. Maybe that's why they decided to just reprint certain cards, was, hey, here's how we can avoid cards like the Red Hot Hottie, where we're calling a woman a hottie, and we can just still get to use some of our previous creations, because some of them definitely would have the Twitter folks going, I pulled out all my hair because I'm so angry over a cardboard rectangle, because we live in the land of unrealistic expectations. See what I did there? I tied in the concept, the unnatural nature. Anyways, I'm gonna go off on a tangent with a bunch of unfunny comments. I did it again. Where are you going? All right, before you go, hold on. See the names on the screen? Those are my patrons and channel members. These are great, fine, dandy folk, and your name should be listed amongst them. You'll also notice some boxes that eventually videos will show up in. So in one of those boxes, you are going to see a link to a video talking about the brand new Magic gift box that actually even involves collector's edition stuff, so check that out if you want. Or if you just want to listen to some cool stories about old school Magic characters and random things like that, I've got a lore playlist with a ton of awesome lore videos, so check it out. Thanks for being here, everybody, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.